Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Akhand Yoga, the 10 limbs of integral yoga. My mission, the impeccable wisdom with which everything is fully known. My discovery, Divyan, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. The science of yoga and exploration. After failing to find logical answers regarding the science of chakras, nadis, kundalini and tantra, I joined a conventional school of yoga for practical training. It was a 4 months basic yoga program, September 1992 to December 1992. Yoga teacher was Sri Mahesh and the center was Chennai. Now, the first thing which I learnt about yoga, which is mandatory from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Ashtang Yoga, was Yamahas. That means first limb of 5 virtues. They are Satya, the truth. Satyamev Jayate, truth always wins, should be the criteria for every yogic exercise, for every perfect human being. Ahimsa, non-violence, is a virtue to be. And person who's non-violent, violence can never touch. Is my experience too. Asatya, non-stealing, not taking credit for something you have not done. It's absolutely essential. You take credit for only what you have originally contributed to the world. If you are read from others, don't take credit, it's my concept. It's absolutely essential as yamas. Apigraha, non-acquisitiveness. There's nothing wrong in being very popular, having a lot of money, but use it for a proper purpose. Don't go after money for anything. Don't acquire just for acquiring sake. If it comes in a natural way, use it effectively for holistic purposes. Fifth one is brahmacharya, which does not mean continence. It means Brahma means great, Achar means character. If you are a brahmachari, that means you are seen as a great person in the lives of everyone. You are having a non-aligned approach, full of vivek, full of respect, regard for everybody. And that is brahmacharya. And these 5 virtues are absolutely essential for emotional stability as well as emotional health. Second is niyams, disciplines. Sauch mean purity, internal purity of the body as well as external purity, including your home, atmosphere, society by and large. Only in pure surroundings you can be free from different diseases, different problems. Second thing is santosh, contentment. You got to develop whatever you have, learn to make optimum use and be happy with it. Learn the art of budgeting if you have less money and do everything within the means so that you don't have to extend yourself unnecessarily and bring new stress and strain unnecessarily, and that is santoshmi. Tapa is a process of religious exercises to increase your body heat. Energy is required for making the physical body, mind, consciousness clear, at the same time spiritual evolution. And that is what called tapa. Swadhyay, self-study, study of your own anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology, one side, and almost every subject around you in that external should know so that we can deal with everybody perfectly. Perfect education, perfect knowledge is absolutely essential for everything, including spiritual evolution. Ishwar Pranidhana means there is a higher force over us, and have a faith in that and look for, pray that we should be protected, shielded, guided in the proper way is what is Ishwar Pranidhana. These particular 5 niyams make the fundamental base of Bhakti Yoga, divine devotion, as well as spiritual health. Third, yogasanas are yoga postures. Different yoga postures have been designed so that every cell of your body, every joint of your body, every muscle of your body is exercised and made healthy. Result should be that after doing this, you should be in a position to have very flexible body, very adaptable body, can sit in meditation, can sit in position for hours together comfortably and contemplate on breathing, mind, meditation or other higher purposes. For that, yogasana is absolutely essential. This is primarily to make your body physically very, very healthy. Fourth is pranayama or breath regulation. Animals which breathe slow live longer than others. So similarly, we human beings, if we can bring down the breath rate slowly through regulating and making sure that we breathe comfortably and you can't even feel the breath through Ajay, Shitali, Brahmari and Basrika, Kapalabhati, Lom Lom, Nadis Shodhana and many other exercises are there. If you can do that, you will definitely have a lot of energy around yourself. And pranayam also helps, is a bridge between physical body and the mind. So with controlling the breath, you can control the mind as well as physical body. With the mind also you can control this. This triangular thing is absolutely essential to be understood in the initial stage of preparing for spiritual journey. Fifth, having understood everything about your physical body, external world, then you should be in a position to withdraw senses from the external world. And this Tratakam helps you in that. And this particular picture I had drawn with my own hands to show how accommodation reflex helps and how accommodation X is prepares you for Pratihara. Your eyes are open, you are seeing everything, but you are not disturbed by that. That is the stage you should get prepared after pranayam. If you are able to withdraw senses from the external world, that means you are on the right path of higher evolution. Sixth is dharana, creating a shield. I'm very sorry to put across because when I was reading about Kundalini Yoga, Yogasana, etc., I found everybody was talking about dharana as a concentration for a short time. I just couldn't believe Maharishi Patanjali, such a great book, highly classified scientific document, would not need two dharana and dhyana for concentration. Because they were saying dhyana mean concentration for a long time, dharana concentration for a short time. So then I went back to original Sanskrit scripture of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I found dharana was desh vantas chittatsya dharana. That means if you, the territory of the mind, you can create a shield around it so it doesn't go out again, is called dharana. And I was presently happy that I could find that and I'm putting across that is creating a shield around the mind and mental energy, not concentration for a short time. Seventh is dhyana, uninterrupted concentration. In other words, pinpointed focus on one subject or object at a time. If you are able to do that, mean with full concentration, mean you have learned master the art of dhyana. Samadhi, when you control the mind, fluctuations are completely at rest, then you learn to have an even state of the mind and then learn to go beyond the mind to higher consciousness, and that is samadhi. And samadhi has three resultant states: nirodha parinama, samadhi parinama, ekagrata parinama. These three states, I was pleasantly surprised, actually reflect alpha spindles of almost 8.73 hertz. How did it know 3000 back that brain's electrical activity is like this? Nirodha parinama mean every time thought comes and ends at the same position. Samadhi parinama means is all same uniform. Ekagrata is coherence. And we always talk about coherence, predominant, uniform, spindles, and those description and this description so identical. I was surprised that such a beautiful description, but unfortunately I have not seen anybody translating it that way. Anyway, I am glad that I had the pleasure of doing this particular work during PhD work. Then there are also stages of samadhi. Sa vitark samprajnata. That means when the thought comes, you are object, you start concentrating on that. You should cognize that with a certain reasoning. Why this? Why that? If it is a positive vichardhara, vitark, argument, counter argument, you come to agree this is what it is. It's called savitark kansubha. Then go to the next stage, nirvitark. You have learned it so well that you don't need to contemplate on that anymore. Then from there you come to the stage of savichar. You have formed an opinion, a thought, an idea after doing the contemplation. Which is right is savichar. Then you got to take it to that. Now that I know everything, let it be stored in my brain. Let me go on to the next stage, because every thought also becomes into seed form for further development. Savichar is samadhi with right seeds. Nirvichar means seedless samadhi. so beautifully described by Patanjali, and of course I have repeated that into Akhand Yoga too. And after all that, you come to Pragyan or Paravidya or Samadhi, which means direct cognition or impeccable wisdom right from the universal consciousness. Ashtang Yoga, by and large, shows the way of external way of consciousness, mind using to be in tune with universal consciousness. You can literally say this is one of the processes of Bhakti Yoga or Dvaita philosophy. During those 4 months of this, I also, based on Patanjali's Ashtang Yoga, I also experienced certain things, and at the end of the time, we had a conducted program on, you can call it chakras or just a consciousness. The instructions were given by the instructor were like this. First, imagine a ball of white light in the pelvis or Muladhara chakra, as I've shown in this picture, right at the bottom, white. Then lift that white light from Muladhara to Swadhisthana chakra in the sacral region and concentrate there for short while. You imagine the light rising up to the Navi chakra or navel center and focus it there for some time. Thereafter, you lift the light gradually to the heart level or Anahata chakra and focus for some time and experience that. He asked you to lift it to throat center or Vishuddhi chakra and see the light and its effect. At that particular juncture, I felt a jerk and suddenly I found myself in a white bag of light. It was such a blissful experience, just lifting consciousness right up to throat itself. I was engulfed in a white light and it was an amazing thing. And I'm representing the same experience of Pranamaya Kosha, you can call it a aura, and zero or shunya or the white light, and this chakra is represented. This is what I'm sure ki ancient Indian sages talked about zero or shunya or cipher based on this particular experience, because I was in a white bag of light which was like circular or spherical. And an unexpected dialogue with Shri Mahesh. I shared my experience with my yoga teacher. He asked me not to talk about it to anybody else. I said, why? They will think that you have gone insane or mad. I couldn't believe my ears. A genuine spiritual experience is a sign of madness. Since I'm a doctor, I understand what is psychosomatic disorders, and I'm not suffering from any of the problems. So I brushed aside. But I like to put it across. Skin and eyes have a common origin from ectoderm layer of the three germinal layers. So we can also see skin cells can see aura light provided we are sensitive. Unfortunately, our consciousness of five senses is so gross, we haven't developed the higher or extra sensory perceptions. As a result, we are not able to see. Anyone who has learned to be sensitive can experience it. I'm sure there are many people like me who have experienced it. Then went to the 9th stage of Chakra Yoga and experienced the Chakras and Nadis in 1993. I had the pleasure of attending existential lab of Swami Sukhbodhanandaji near Bangalore in December 93. And that program was very, very intensive. Lot of yogasanas, lot of pranayam, lot of meditation, lot of contemplation, lot of discussions. At the end of 4 days, I experienced the awakening of Kundalini from Muladhara chakra and experiencing its movement through all the three Nadi, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna, and experienced all the chakras in the process, and finally came to forehead. And from there I could literally see 7 layers going up. It was an amazing experience which I cannot forget. The result of that particular experience represented in this picture was taken at the end of the day along with Swami Sukhbodhanandaji. I am not going to describe the picture. I would like you to look at it carefully, without any imagination. Grossly look. You'll find a lot of interesting things coming out of that. Then in 93 to 94, I improvised on the techniques of yoga. Brought in intensive yogasanas, higher advanced stages of yogasanas, then advanced stages of pranayam. I learned certain things from different schools of yoga, improvised my own formulation of Akhand Yoga, and brought in. And I started experimenting with that. And as I was one day I was experimenting somewhere in July 1995, I found Muladhara Chakra awakening up. Like a sound it started. And it beautifully Brahma Garanthi, which was the knot between Brahm-Nadi and Muladhara, slowly dissolving. And then Kundalini moved right into the central canal of Brahm-Nadi and then started lifting. As started lifting up, I could feel the thunders as the thunders, lights, and music it was going through. And almost all the experience was phenomenal. Since I was by this time I had a proper theoretical knowledge of Kundalini Chakras Nadis based on Sat-Chakra-Nirupana's descriptions. I was physically and mentally prepared for this experience. Maybe I was looking forward to that. Then Kundalini rose and then finally settled down in the ventricles of brain. And I'm glad after that I felt a bliss of different nature. And then results after that have been phenomenal, which I would discuss in thing next in the research for PhD work. This subjective evaluations, how I did with the objective evaluation with EEG, power spectrum, and other things. What kind of changes I found within me, and how it was different from what we have done, would be the basis of next thing. I'm glad Ashtang Yoga, 8 stages, I've been able to add 2 more, take it to Chakra Yoga or Kundalini Yoga to Antar Yoga, and literally bring to the light, which Sat-Chakra-Nirupana talks about it in detail, that you have Sushmana Nadi, you have a Vahani Nadi, within that you have Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi, and then Brahma Nadi. All that which has not been maybe not recognized by others because they couldn't experience it. There are many things in Sat-Chakra-Nirupana which I'm going to talk about through my other work thereafter. Based on that, my experiences, all that has been put into this, we have discussed. We will not discuss at this particular juncture more. I will leave it and we will discuss that as we start moving thereafter. So thank you very much for all your great listening and